Hello, and thank you for joining me for yet another episode of Private Transformation Minutes. This is Dala, just taking a moment to just reflect on the topic of developing credible relationships. And yesterday we started talking about, self being the core denominator in every relationship that you are involved in. And we talked about five attributes that you needed to pay attention to. But today, I wanted to expand a little bit on that and talk a little bit more about some very internal type issues that you need to pay close attention to in order for you to develop credible relationships, both offline and online. Yesterday, we pointed out five um, core attributes, but today I want to talk more about some internal things. I'll talk about five more qualities or attributes or things that you need to pay attention to in order for you to develop very credible relationships. Number one, you need to learn to forgive yourself. Self Too often we're too hard on ourselves because we make mistakes, or we feel we um, dropped the ball or we blew it or something. Too often the level to which you forgive yourself will determine how you will deem acceptability in your relationship with other people. So learn to forgive yourself. We all make mistakes, nobody's perfect. As long as you still have breath in your lungs, you have a chance to make things right. So don't be too hard on yourself. Yes, we all make mistakes, but you know what? Get up from where you dropped the ball, or pick up from where you fell down, and move on. So learn to forgive yourself. Number two, you have to learn to have confidence in yourself. Too often, a lot of folks do not have confidence in their ability, even though they're some of the most gifted, some of the most talented people, because life has taught them that they're not good enough. Life has taught them that they've made terrible mistakes or they've made poor judgments, but it doesn't matter. You have confidence in yourself. Don't forget, yesterday we talked about you knowing yourself. It's as a result of your knowledge of self, your strengths and all that, that you can become confident in yourself. Be confident in your decisions. Take the time to research matters. Try to understand the dynamics of how things work, so that way you can make informed decisions and take responsibility for the things that you do. So develop absolute confidence in yourself. Number three, I would say challenge yourself or motivate yourself, stir yourself up to go further. In fact, set goals that are higher than your peers, or that set expectations that you have not attained, and go for it with everything that you've got. So learn to challenge yourself to do better. Number four, I would say protect yourself. You're the greatest by nature man. You and I are. Self-preservation tends to kick in anytime we feel threatened, but I will say, if you learn to protect yourself, that means you preserve what is best for you. You'll find yourself that when you're entering into relationships, you are not too guarded, because you've put things in place that will secure your posterity. So it is very important for you to protect yourself. In that sense, I'm not saying be closed down or be shut down, but learn who you are, know what your strengths are, know the areas where you struggle, the areas where you may not have the greatest strengths, and as a result of that, you can be able to just build structures and systems around what you do that will naturally provide the defense that you need in times of difficulty. So it is very, very important for you to learn how to protect yourself. And then lastly, I would say number five, learn to be your greatest critic. Laugh at yourself. It is okay. Sometimes I just sit down and I go, oh, dollar. Why? Because I just realized that life is not that complex. We tend to and could, do very silly stuff. It's got nothing to do with age. It's got nothing to do with background, gender or orientation. It is just who we are. Learn to laugh at yourself. Be your greatest critic, and that way, when you deal with other people, it will not be so burdensome for you. So let me just wrap it up by saying these 5 fundamental elements are important to add to the ones we talked about yesterday. That number 1, you have to learn how to forgive yourself. Going into a relationship without forgiving yourself would set you up for failure. Number 2, you have to have absolute confidence in yourself. You need to learn how to protect yourself. You have to challenge yourself to do better, and more importantly, laugh at yourself. Be your greatest critique. Okay, so I hope that these few items would be a blessing to you and to help you to grow as you aspire towards greater heights in your pursuit of private transformation. And I pray that as you begin to apply these principles to your life, it will cause you to have some of the greatest relationships that you ever have. So thank you so much for joining me for yet another moment of Private Transformation Minutes. Please share this video with your friends on your timelines and let it be a blessing to everybody. Have a good day.